Okay, let me start with my questions. I think I was looking at the Varg back catalog, and this is the first time you have as a cover artwork, as a cover picture of the band without any, any effects or any add-ons. Was there any motivation to do that?
It kind of felt right because the new album Ewige Wacht to me feels like the most personal album we have ever done.
Okay.
When we did the songwriting, it was kind of different than to all the previous albums because it was like the melodies we had in mind came from emotions deep from our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And with this melody in mind, we started writing the song. Then we got this emotion of the song and melody. And with this emotion in mind, we started writing the lyrics. So let's say this album comes deep from our hearts to meet our listeners and fans in their own hearts. And it is a very personal album, and this is the reason why we thought we should do like a band picture, band photo as the cover.
So why do you say that? I mean, if I was to say, for example, what the previous albums were not personal or did not feel that special to you, I mean, what is what makes you say that? What is different, if you may, in this album?
You need to know we do this with Varg since 18 years now.
Correct.
And when we started, I was a lot younger, and it was just about playing music. Pagan Metal was cool, and drinking some beers after the show. This was what it was all about, you know. And within these last 18 years, a lot of things changed. I grew older, and I evolved as a person. And let's say now I'm a father. I'm looking towards turning 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Sometime in the soon future, not this year, but I'm a father of two wonderful children. Um, some members of my family died within these years. This is all this all made me think of what do I want to give to my children emotionally, and values they shall have, maybe that they will give to their own kids. And this is what Ewige Wacht, the album, and also the title track, which is kind of like the song that stands for the whole album, is all about. It's about keeping the flame of your ancestors alive, of these old and good values, to keep it alive, to have it with pride in yourself, and give it to your children because they are the future. And this in mind, this to watch over your loved ones and stuff like that makes it very personal for me. And let's say, for example, an album like Blue Tar in 2010 was not less emotional for me at that point, but it couldn't be that emotional or personal because me as a person back then was like 20 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a different thinking you have, and that you can transport in your songs now.
Basically, you are saying something that everybody should know, that the bands grow older just like us, and therefore, as we mature, as we get more experiences, the same thing happens with bands. And that's, now I understand what you're saying. Yes, of course. And you need, sometimes you even change your own likes in the music. You may like this, or you may feel you need to add more layers, and therefore, and all that cool stuff. So I totally understand. Although you made me feel a little bit old because I'm 48. But anyway.
Well, it's not a problem. Like for me, 48 is still like 18.
Okay, fair enough. The band, and to my mind, when I saw the cover, I said, well, they are trying to reintroduce the band. And so they are showing a picture of the band, because you have two new additions, right? Ulvar and Rogar.
Yes, exactly. They joined in for Fenrir, who has been starting the band with me back then in 2005, and for Garm, who played the guitar on the previous two albums. Both of them have new jobs and simply don't have the time and possibilities to support Varg like it should be done, you know. Especially Fenrir, the former drummer, he's been, or he still is, a very, very close friend of mine. It's so close that like for example, we had Christmas Eve together, you know, with the family, and he was or is still part of my heart and family. And it's also not that he is gone from Varg. This is something we talked about a lot. He is still part of Varg. He's just his big dream was always to move to the States and live there. And he worked at Red Bull Racing at Formula One in a very good job within the last years, and he did a great job. And then they want to make a big company in the US to make races there. And he's like a very important Formula One racing guy now. This was his big dream to move to the US, and this was also why I totally understand why it's the right thing that he is going to do that. And this is also what I said to him. So we are still very close fans. For me and for us, he's always a part of Varg, and he will always be, but he's no active member anymore. And Rogar, the new drummer, he's like probably the best musician I have ever had the pleasure working with. He's a drum teacher. He writes different drum learning books. His new book is about shamanic drums and stuff like that. He's just beyond awesome. So it's I got goosebumps when telling about it. It's just a great feeling with this new band members. Also with Ulvar, he's one of the friendliest and honest persons I have ever met. He's like a long time the best friend of our guitar player Morkai. And this kind of made the feeling to be like a big family even more than maybe before, you know.
So were those gentlemen involved in the making of Ewige Wacht?
Yes, they were definitely involved. Ulvar joined a lot of songwriting weekends here in our house in Coburg, and Rogar did a lot of the drumming for the musics already while songwriting at his own place, recording at his drum school in Dresden, in Germany. And when you start songwriting, you always have this kind of standard drum computer, just having a beat so you can write your guitars, you know? And when he sent over his recorded audio tracks, and he's got a very, very own style of playing the cymbals and stuff like that. It was just amazing. I couldn't trust my ears when I first heard it. So yes, they both definitely had an influence on the Varg songwriting, and it was a very good influence in my opinion.
Ulvar is a historian, no? Too.
Yes, he is. Or let's say he's not like an active working as historian anymore, but he's a studied historian, yes.
So he may help with the lyrics, maybe?
The lyrics are mainly written by Fylgja and me together, but of course we always show the lyrics, and everybody gives his own
flavor,
his own opinion to it,
yes,
you know. So yes, let's say everybody is involved in everything in Varg, but of course, like the drums are mainly written by Rogar and stuff like that, you know.
I thank you for mentioning Fylgja, because in this album you have more of her vocals.
Yes, to be honest, we have also a lot of more of her ideas, and also the first time her really being a part of the songwriting. You know, I've been the guitar player in the beginning of Varg, so I play the guitar. The guitar players play the guitar, of course. Also, Rogar plays guitar. So it's songwriting for us was always playing the guitar, playing melodies, playing riffs. And this time it was different. Fylgja said, "Hey, I got this melody," and she was singing the melody, but not the melody she wants to sing, but the melody the guitar should play.
Okay.
So it was a very great adventure, and it was just a very fresh way of starting this songwriting with a melody that didn't came up from a guitar, but is supposed to be played on the guitar. So and of course she got a lot of great ideas also for the music videos. It was basically everything of that was her script, all those costumes, the stories, everything.
In fact, that was my question. My question was, there are more vocals of her vocals, but my next follow-up, let's say, was what were the differences as far as songwriting? But you answered that question already.
Yes, thank you for interrupting.
Who is singing the last lines of the song, Fylgja?
It's the son of Fylgja and me. He's called Wolf Lasse.
I was almost certain that was. Okay, so you said she's also involved in the making of the videos. In what level? I mean, you mentioned the clothing. Is she writing also the concept, the story that you want?
Yes, she's writing the concept and the story. She basically is, let's say the video concept is like 80% Fylgja. I mean, we all do everything together, but this is really a thing that she does with a lot of passion, also looking for the locations where to shoot and how it shall look. And yeah,
That's a
I'm
lot.
very happy to have her in the band and doing these things, because I think she really did a very good job with the videos we had for this album.
Making those videos seems like a lot of work, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially this Eisenseite video. We started shooting for it some scenes already like over a year ago with this very big shield wall, and like, I don't know, with this shield wall warriors and people on set, and this gigantic 1,000-kilo horse where King Ironside, who's like 2 meters and 4 high or something, was sitting on. It was probably a day with 60 or 70 persons involved, and it's been a lot of work and a lot of effort, but in my opinion it was worth it. And for me and us also, those videos are part of the whole album concept. It's for us, it's not just releasing some tracks, it's a whole art thing, like the artwork of the album also, and the videos. It's all coming together as one big thing for us.
You get me to the next one. Thank you again. So you said the concept. Is there something that connects the lyrics of the songs in this album that ties to the video, that ties to everything?
Yes, you know, the album title is called Ewige Wacht, which is maybe best translated as the Eternal Watch. And most of the songs of this album have some connection to somebody who watches over something. Let's say, for example, the Valkyries in the sky, or the king, or some spirit watching a child and something like that, watching over. And yeah, this is basically the main thing. There are of course some other songs that don't totally fit that concept, like Hammer, for example, which is like a death metal smashing song about a weapon as a big a hammer as a big weapon, you know. But the main theme is the Eternal Watch. Yes.
So the entity that watches is a good one, or is it? It depends. A good or a bad, or
human. It's always a good one. Okay. For the song Fylgja, for example, Fylgja in Northern mythology is like a some kind of spirit, often shown as an animal, who is watching over a person. In most of the times, it's a child that is followed, let's say, by a fox or by a cat or anything. This spirit is protecting this person or this child, and this is, for example,
like we say, the spirit animal, something like that.
Yes, something like that.
Okay. Who did the production and the mixing of the album?
This is Andre Hoffman. He lives also here in the city where we live, in Coburg. And until like 2 weeks ago, when the whole building was closed, he had his studio like the next door to our rehearsal room. So it was very nice to work with him again. Honestly, he already did like records the drums and stuff for our very first album, Wolfside, in 2007. So we know each other for a very long time. He's been our live sound guy since like more than 10 years, I think. So he absolutely knows anything we do, how we sound, how we need to sound. He knows the concept of all the albums. He knows us in person for many, many years. So it was a very good connection to work with him for the album again.
And the album, I think the special edition, not the vinyl, comes with the same songs, but with guests.
Yes. Not only the deluxe box version, but also the slipcase digipack is coming as 2 CD with the guest, yes.
Okay. So what was the drive to do something like that?
Basically, I have been always a very, very big fan of kind of collaborations in music, not only limited to metal music, but for music in general, especially when it's different genres. And we are doing this like nearly 20 years, touring around with Varg, sharing stage and backstage and tour bus with a lot of other bands. And doing this for those many years, you make a lot of friends on the road, a lot of people you get to know. And also, I'm the promoter of Wolfside Festival, which started in 2007. It's Germany's biggest pagan metal open air, and pagan and black metal open air. And in this last 18 years, of course, we also got to know a lot of bands with the festival. And when we were done with songwriting, I thought we did the same with the Zeichen album, the 2 CD version. I thought, hey, why not do that again, but not ask all the same people to do it again. We have some doing it again because they simply fit the song best. Like for the song Hammer, this aggressive death metal song, I wanted the voice of Solly from Ectomorph, who's got a very unique voice, and it just fit perfectly. And for me, it's always very, very nice to see how a different singer is interpreting your own song, how he sets the words. It's like I do like ba ba ba, and the other one does like ba 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 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like when you wrote this song and you recorded it and you have your version in mind, and then you start listening to a different singer doing the same song with the same lyrics but doing it his way. It was like out of 11 songs, I got like 9 goosebumps instantly because they did such a great job. And I'm so thankful for that, because this kind of collaboration, it just makes me smile, you know. For example, we did the title track Ewige Wacht with Ludwig from Forndom, who is this is not a metal band. It's like music like Vadruna or something like that. And he's from Sweden, so I translated my lyrics to English, and then did some kind of ChatGPT translation to Swedish, and sent him both versions, and asked him to do whatever he thinks fits better. And then he said, "Hey, can I do it in German?" And you know, he's not a German speaking person, but he sang this song in German, and it sounds awesome. And the same thing, the exact same thing happened with Harry from Tour. So I translated it to like a Ferraric language, and he just said, "Hey, can I do it in German?" And you think, yeah, why not? And Chris from Ailstorm did not even ask. He was like doing kind of the verses in English. You were listening, and then there was the chorus, and it's German, and you didn't know it until you heard it the first time, and it was just a lot of very nice moments.
So I have to listen to Immer too. Am I correct? Am I
Immer Treu, yes. It's been
okay?
done by Sakis from Rotting Christ.
Right.
Also
So
very, very great
I
guy.
think I know that Sakis doesn't speak German at all. So how did you do that?
He did it in English.
Okay. For a moment, I thought you may say he did it in Greek. That would have been
No, he did it in English, and this song, for example, is like a real feature where my voice is mixed with him. So he does some parts, I do some parts. For this whole album, it's sometimes the guest vocalist does everything, and sometimes it's mixed. And there's also a song, Morgan Road. Um, he's like sung by two guest vocalists. Because in the original song, it's sung by me and Fylgja, me with the aggressive voice, and Fylgja with this classic melodical singing. And therefore, we chose two guest vocalists, like Andre from Harpier doing the melodic part, and Noise from Kanonenfieber doing the hard vocals. You know.
It's a shame that you have this only on the CD versions. It would be nice to have a double LP version for that.
Yes, we had that on Zeichen, and I also it was also a big wish of mine, but it seems like vinyl production at the moment is very expensive and also is kind of limited. The material seems to be limited, and so the label decided to do just one LP thing.
Damn it. You can always do that later, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. But anyway, you can have the vinyl for the main CD and then do the CD too with Spotify or something.
Through Spotify with me? Come on, man. I need a physical product. Anyways, CD it is.
So you don't do streaming at all?
But honestly, of course, being in a magazine, I listen to new music digitally, but if I like something, I have to get it physically. I mean, I cannot do without that. I mean, if you have files on the computer, they don't feel the same, if you know what I mean. You have the...
Yeah, absolutely know what you mean. For me, it's like I like to have something as the physical copy, but I don't listen to the physical copy then.
True.
I just have it, and then I just listen to it over Spotify anyway, you know.
But then if you want to really listen to that, you will take the vinyl, put it on the record, drop the needle. It feels so special.
Yeah, but it's not working in the car.
No,
for me, I'm mostly listening to music in the car, so that's why.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, I cannot argue with that, man. Sorry. What are the touring plans? What are you planning for the rest of 2023 and then 2024?
For 2023, we just started our headlining tour called Wolfsfest. We do annually, which drives us through, I think, 12 cities in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, which is our main market, of course, because we sing in German language. And that's it for this year. And for next year, we are planning to do a lot of festival shows and also are looking for international festivals to play the cities we mostly don't do on our headlining tours.
Any idea if you will cross the Atlantic, come to the States?
Well, we would hope so, but we don't have any concrete plans yet. So we are waiting for any offers. So if there are some, send them over.
That will be awesome. And
we would love to come back.
For the set list, I think for I will butcher the name now, Zeichen. You didn't really do a proper tour for that album. So are you planning to use songs from that album too?
You mean for this tour we are doing now?
Yes.
Yes. Basically, we tried to do touring with the Zeichen album. It just came out in 2020, which was the Corona year.
Of course.
But we did some shows in 2021 and we did more shows in 2022 with the Zeichen album. But we still have songs of the Zeichen album in the set list. And also the title track, Zeichen, is the opening song of our tour at the moment.
You spoiled that. I'm joking. Freki, thank you very much for your time. Have a great time with your tour in 2023, and hopefully we'll see Varg again in the States.
I hope so too. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.
And hope to talk to you in the future.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.